I think about Manu.
What?
Manu.
Manu. You watch it?
Manu to Si Poa.
That's my favorite team. I also support it.
No, you are saying no one.
No. No. Me no Manu down. Thank you so much, Pete, for coming on the show. So, who is Pete? Ouko.
Pete is a father. He's a father of two, passionate about youth affairs, youth empowerment, community development, and just having a safe and better country for all. So Pete is the founder and now the director of Si Poa, which is an NGO, where our main issue, our main motto is to inform, educate, and transform lives. So we do that through social enterprise, through access to justice, and through community outreach. So those are the three pillars upon which we run our organization. It's a youth-centric organization. Basically, it's run by youth. I'm not the one who runs Si Poa. Credit goes to the young people who are always behind the scenes and who we want now to come to the forefront. Ndio wajulikane.
Wow. So, did you grow up in in Nairobi or in upcountry, Ushago?
Mimi ni vile nilisema mimi ni jogo Ushago. I was born and raised in Maseno, which is somewhere between Kisumu district and Vihiga district. Then after that nikakuja kusomea, I came to study hapa Kikuyu, and then after Kikuyu, when I cleared my high school, my first job was again in Nairobi, and my first hood pale nilishia kwanza ni Mathare area 4, tunaita survey, and then after that I went to Mo. So life yangu mingi, adult life or after high school, nimeishi Eastland sana, but kulelewa ni Ushago.
Take us through some of the activities that you guys do in Si Poa organization for the youth. Different types of activities and departments that you guys have.
Yeah, Si Poa, vile I've said, it's youth-centric. We focus more on the youth, even though the wider community is what's at play, because that time a youth wanaka community. With a vision of having a crime-free society, we have 3 key programs. The first program is community outreach, which deals with both kids in school and those in prison. So we have the Focused Youth Project, and we have the Phoenix Project, which focuses on kids who are rising up again. Wale wamekuwa na shida, hata wale watu wamekusumbua tu home, they want to kujidiscover to come up again. Yeah. That is the Phoenix Project for kids under 18. And then for 18 ikipanda juu youth, hiyo ni Focused Youth. So how do we deal with drugs and crime and delinquency and child pregnancy and mambo za defilement? That is wanafundishwa, tunawaelimisha through the community outreach. Ukija kwa access to justice, watu wengi, mayouth wengi wanasema karau wanaonea, they fall into crime because they don't know the law, wakishikwa hawajui jinsi ya kujitetea, hawajui relationship yao na karau ama other law enforcement agencies itakuwa vipi, mtu amepokonywa mali yake hajui what to do. Just general law issues. For that we have access to justice. Inaitwa sheria mashinani. In fact, vijana wale tuko nao wanaitwa Kibera lawyers. Tuliwatrain hapa Strathmore University. Ni vijana wa Kibera, young people. Mambo za paralegalism, there are 23 of them. Mambo ya paralegalism wameishika kabisa. We were supposed to train the second cohort last year, but COVID ikaingia. But these kids were trained over 21 weeks in Strathmore University by Strathmore faculty. So wakuna knowledge ile mtu yote anaweza kuwa nayo, inafaa kuwa nayo kisheria, community paralegalism wako nayo. Ani watu wako community. We empower them and we keep them so that hata hawa we equip community yao. So that's the model we use, because we use a bottom up approach. It's not watu kutoka hapa kwenda huko chini. Ni watu wa community umewa-equip aje, umewa-empower aje waweze ku-impact community zao hawa wenyewe. And that has been key to our growth, because Si Poa is owned by the community. It's not owned by Pete, it's not owned by us here. It's owned by the community. So as we just facilitate, when we have community dialogues, which we always have under access to justice, nini inawasumbua? Oh, watu wanataka ku-protest. What do we teach them? What does the Constitution say about protest? Right to protest, freedom of assembly. What does the Constitution say about right of arrested person? Nikishikwa, what's supposed to happen? Ama inafani treatiwe aje? Inafani weke kwa police station siku 5. Katiba inasema nini? So we teach them that under Sheria Mashinani.
Wow.
And we have the Sheria Mashinani pages on Facebook. We have Sheria Mashinani on Twitter. We have sheriamashinani.com.
Okay.
Zote ziko pale. You can find all that information about Sheria. Hata mambo za traffic.
Working with them, what have you learned from these young people, from the youths? Because it's not easy to work with youths.
No, I think that's what we've made ourselves believe, that it's not easy to work with youth. I think my best space is when I'm with young people. That's my best space. Number two, because the youth believe this is about them, it's about them developing their leadership. I'll tell you one thing. Hakuna pale nimewahi fanya kazi na mayouth wakanitisha kitu. Hata ikiwa Kibira, hata ikuwe Dandora, hata ikuwe. So it's a misconception ya kuwa utaitishwa. Utaitishwa juu umekuja hapa kutupima, upige picha na sisi alafu utoroke. Utaitishwa. Lakini if they know you've invested in them, you're pouring in them, they come. Kawangware, I mean, we're now having meetings where we have to close the gate, watu wasiingie. Because community inajileta, inajituma. Na wanajituma kwa sababu gani? Because you're authentic. You're not using them. Mara mingi watu wamekuwa wakitumia mayouth na wanatumia community. Niambie watu, najua this is what I do, so ukinipatia chapa fulani nitafanya zaidi. And yet mtu akija kwa ground hata ofisi hakuna. Hata wewe utatafutwa hauko. So ndio wameharibia watu wengi wa mtaa kuendelea. People want to help. The third factor nilisahau kusema ni ya kuwa we also have social enterprise. So wale vijana wametoka katika crime ama hataki kuingia crime, vijana wanasema tuko base. Badala kwa base useme unataka kuuza mayai. Na kuuza mayai unataka kreti 2 na ile kitu ya kusukuma ni 1000. Tuangalie vile utapata hiyo 1000 mtengeze chapa yenu kialani. Idea imetoka kwenu, nyinyi ndio mnaenda kuuza, nyinyi ndio mnajua market yenu. And we give you training on that as well, which we are going to start now. For free. So whatever we are doing with the youth, hatulipishi, because hata si hatuna hiyo chapa. We have a heart for service. Nimekwambia hata wale wako hapa, wengi wamevolunteer. They just came, they said tukae pamoja tufanye hivi. So pressure inakuwa ni ya kuwa, how can we even make it better for them? Because they volunteered for so long. They're not even getting the wages they're supposed to get. But hawachoki. So mtu akiniambia ati the youth sijui nini, I'm seeing youth who have a heart for service. Youth wale wamejituma. Nimeona wakati wa COVID, wakijituma, wakipeana sabuni, wakipeana nini at the risk to their own lives. So mtu azikalibia ati youth sijui nini, hiyo ndio onge huko mbali.
Wow, I hope Crime Si Poa has so many partners on board that you guys are partner with. I can see we have Global Fund for Children as well. It's one of your partners as well. And also, I think also you guys are partner with Shofu as well. So working with this, partnering with this particular organization, different organization on board, how is it like?
I'll tell you one thing. We can't work in silos. Mara mingi, many organizations have failed, even big organizations, because they think it's competition. Ya kuwa mimi nataka kushine. I want to be utambuliwe na nani? You're doing charity work, you're impacting lives.
Yeah.
Impacting life. Hata right now we've stopped here. Hata nikipiga picha na mtu, tuseme nakupa kitu, you won't see it anyway for our internal consumption. Because, look here, unaenda kusaidia mtu juu uko na roho ya kusaidia ama umewezeshwa kusaidia. Si tumekuwa, we've been giving even food supply brought by well-wishers. Now, you've asked me about partners. The future is partnership. The present is partnership. When COVID started, people ran away. The big organizations ran away. Who stepped into the void? Shofko stepped into the void. They called Crime Si Poa. I said, "Fanye hivi pamoja." Kennedy called me directly, direct line. Pete, let's do this. We have to do it. Watu watakufa. You know, this thing, haitaki inataka social distancing. Ghetto, there's no social distancing. So the only weapon we have is to educate people about hand washing, tuwapatie soap, na tuwapatie masks. And that's how Crime Si Poa was only in 2 communities before COVID started. Right now we're in 12 communities. That growth within 9 months.
That's an achievement.
You see, and it's because, I mean, it was very deliberate. That it's because it's people's lives. So, mnataka kufanya na youth maze, hatutaki wa mama zetu wa dedi. Tuwapatie soap. Wanajituma. We were making soap here. We made 9,000 liters of soap. Most of it was supported by Shofko. So Shofko didn't look at us as, oh, this is a youth-focused organization, so to support what to overshadow. Shofko is led by a young person who knows the pain of young people in that community. He grew up in Kibira. So how can we make life the lives of young people better. And that's why I love Shofko. That's why I love everyone at Shofko, not just Kennedy, who's my great friend and also mentor. Don't think because he's younger than me, he doesn't mentor me. He mentors me. But hii mambo ati ukiangalia mtu, you start looking, hey, imekuwa hivi. Hii stories za mtaa ndio zinafanya watu wasigrow. Tukiweka growth mentality, will grow.
So on that, so why do you think most of people, especially the young people, involved in crime? What do you think?
Yeah, just like I've shared many times, in prison you will find 75% of people in prison are young people. So number one, lack of leadership. Who are the role models we look up to? Who are role models? Start by asking yourself, nani huo mwangalia hapo nasema nikisoma ama nikiweza kufanya bidii nitakuwa kama ule jamaa ama hata nipite. We have our dreams. Who are our role models? Kama role model wangu ni gangster, nitataka tu kuwa gangster zaidi kumliko. Kama role model wangu ni mtu huyu najua brings people together in the community, that's what I'll ascribe to. So what are role models? Number one, we have poor role models in this country. Most of our role models ni watu wako na bad manners. Wakienda kwa TV wanachochea bad manners. Na mimi naambiaga youth siku hizi, boss, ukienda usiende pale utaribiwa akili. Enda ucheze ball. Burn your energy in something productive. Enda ukae pale umenta watu wadogo. Ama youth unaona hapa mtaani wamejenga jina juu ya kumenta watoto wadogo. So the community loves them and owns them because ya kumenta watu wao. Hiyo wakati wa corona, I've tried checking around na vile nilisema hata juzi, sijasikia any of the kids we were handling during COVID alipata ball na jarudi shule. Our beneficiaries wote wamerudi shule. And they're also young impressionable girls, but because wamejua value and you talk openly with them, that's one. Number two, drug and substance abuse. I want to buy drugs, nishapewa, nishazoea, kete inauzwa, masuse zinauzwa, but I don't have the money. Na nikishatumia kwanza nimekuwa addicted, itabidi ninyonge mtu hata mchana. Ushaonanga wale vijana anakuletea ukapi mchana, they come with a knife, they want to rob you. Ni kama ni usiku haoni. And that's how they end up being killed. Poor judgment. Naambia vijana one thing, ukiona beshte wako ameweza kupotea, muongeleshe, mshikeni. Because anataka hiyo oxygen yenu ndio a change. Lakini if you cheer him on, atawani kama ni champe, he'll continue doing the wrong thing. Akidedi mnatuambia tuchange. Right? But if we hold each other accountable, do you have an accountability partner? Someone who can tell you, Walter, this is wrong. And you take offense. Hata kama ni dem, ni accountability partner wako. Someone who can look you in the eye and tell you, hii hapa inakumecheza flat. Usisikie uchungu. Manake mara mingi wanadamu tunaogopa kukosolewa. Hata ukiambiwa kitu mtu anakuchukia. Ukiambiwa kitu ni beef. There's no beef. Someone who corrects you ni mtu anakupenda. Hata Biblia inasema yule anayekukosoa ndiye anakupenda. Yule anakuchia tu hivi mazee unaenda mteremko mwingine hautaitoka.
Wow. So just although I don't want to take you a little bit back on what you've been, because you mentioned as well you've been in prison, convicted to a crime that probably you didn't really commit.
Not probably.
You didn't really commit.
Not really. I didn't commit. Use the right words.
You didn't.
Words of power.
You didn't commit. Yeah. So a little bit on it, the experience being behind the bars for 18 years. 18 years?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing, Walter.
Yeah.
Being behind bars for 1 minute and being behind bars for 18 years means the same thing. To me, it's being detached from what you love the most. Right? And I was in prison because we had a broken down judicial system, we had corruption, we had all that stuff. That's what landed me there. I'll tell you, the person who took me to prison, the police, he retired the other day. And he called me for his farewell party at the police canteen, and I went. Ndio nikuonyeshe sina chuki. You have to learn to forgive and you have to learn to let go. Hiyo ingine mwachie Mungu. So mambo ati mtu alikosea umemshikia roho, si mtu amekosea unataka kufanya nini? Mimi mtu alisema ni nyongo. Lakini sasa hivi ndiye ananiita nini? Niende kwa party yake. Nishika. So what I'm telling the youth is that kuna mtu atakusukuma mpaka mwisho, kuna mtu atakukosea. Mwachie Mungu. Focus on what you want to achieve. Focus. No, hizi vitu zote ziko zisikutoe katika focus yako. Dream yako iko valid. Mimi nilikuwa jela, nilikuwa nalala jela, lakini akili haijaenda na jela hata siku moja. So wakati nilipotoka nje sikuanza kushtuka kutapatapa ati nitaanzia wapi, sijui nitafanya nini, hata kasi sikuwa na job, but nilijua Mungu ameprepare, this is the way I need to walk, because mind yangu haijaelala huko. Na huko ndani nimesema tulianzisha crime support kwa nini? Juma youth ndio wamejaa jela. Na ndio youth najaribu kuongelesha hapo, mazi huko ndani sio kupoa. When we do a community outreach, wengi wa wale wanafanya community outreach, even when Ruth coordinates it, ni watu walikuwa jela. They talk real life experiences. They talk about mistakes made, either by them or by other people. But they talk from real life experiences of what life is on the other side. Uko separated. Na saizi 60% ya watu wako jela bro, ni watu wa sexual offenses. Zaidi ya 60%. Anyway, what I'm saying is we can solve our issues differently. Yeah. If things are not working, you can separate. But don't ati uchukue kisu uende uwe mtu. Sijui upangie mtu afanywe nini, ati beshte yako alikukosea, umechukua vijana ukawachotea, wakaenda kamchapa. How do you sleep with that? So we have to be real with ourselves, like we are dealing with real life issues, and we need to make a inaanza kwa family unit. You make your family unit strong, you make your friends strong. Usiwe na wivu when your friend is growing. By the way, beshte yako akianza kugrow, kuomoka, msupport. Akifika huko juu atakuvuta pia.
Usiwe na chuki like.
Usiwe na chuki, tunataka kumvuta tuka hapa. Msupport. And then akifika huko tunaona kikuvuta. Kwa sababu jamani alitembea na mimi, jamani alisimama na mimi. Atakuvuta pia. Na tena mkishafika huko wawili, mvuta wengine wawili.
Sure.
Kidogo we change one life at a time. Yeah, we are very reachable. Anybody wants to get our phone numbers, ziko katika handles zetu zote Si Poa. Facebook ni Si Poa, Instagram ni Si Poa, Twitter ni Si Poa Kenya. Tuko na crimesipoa.org. Na namba zetu za simu ziko pale. So the office numbers ukipiga any office time utatupata. So there's always help somewhere around the corner. Just reach and let us know. And if you go or hata ukituma inbox katika hizo social media handles, ama ukijua mtu who needs that kind of help, just let us know. Okay. But the other thing is, because I told you we work in partnership, if it's crime related and you report to any Shofco office anywhere, watatuambia we'll deal with the crime angle.
You also studied law, yeah?
Yeah.
Could it be that, like, being behind the bars, could be the fact that probably made you to go and study law?
No, number one, I studied law to get justice for my late wife, number one. That's what motivated me. Number two, also my studies was about motivating my daughter who was studying law. And number three, it was just to ensure that whatever I study, I impact other lives with it. I started writing for people appeals even before I studied law. Those who are in Kamiti, Naivasha will tell you. In my last year, which was 2016 in Kamiti, I got 6 people out of death row. Those are appeals that I wrote that are successful. Those are 6. And my friends even did more. But it's because we have that heart for service and always exploring and wanting to know something that can impact other lives. To me, the greatest thing is just one life impacted. If I impact one life in a day, Mungu can go contented. Nikikatunda ati ni story maze, Mungu will wasted. Yeah.
Wow, so we are winding up. Is there anything probably that you wanna add on what you have just discussed before we close up the show?
No, what I'd like to add, Walter, is that there are opportunities. We are not taking them or we are not seeing them. There are people who are helping us to see those opportunities, but because of our prejudices, we don't want to look at those opportunities. It's time for everybody afungwe macho. Okay, there's an opportunity here. How do we take advantage of it? How do we grow out of it? Let us speak out. Zile vitu zinatufinya mtaani. Whatever we feel needs to be done. Let's talk out. There's power in the masses. So if sauti ya mtu mmoja itasikika, sauti ya watu 10,000 itasikika. Let us focus on building each other up, not tearing each other down. I want to thank you for the support and partnership we get from you. Watu wasani, watu wangu. We so love you, we so appreciate you, and we believe this is a year of great impact. So whether uko Mshomoroni, whether uko Vihiga, whether uko wapi, Shofco, San, Si Poa is a movement. It's a life-changing movement. So hii movement, wale wajaingia muingize. Sisi sio watu wa siasa, sisi ni watu wa kujenga maisha, na wewe ni wa kujenga maisha. So do your part, we do our part. Let's make our lives and everyone's lives better, and God bless you. I love you so much from Si Poa, from the entire team yangu yote iko hapa, tunawapenda sana. God bless you.